My name is Joe. I'm a photojournalist. Yesterday I was following the protest against the G20 summit, and I started to follow the Black Bloc. As the end of the protest reached Queen and Spadina at around 3, somewhere between 75 and 100 Black Bloc members rallied. They left the main protest and started quickly back down Queen Street, heading east. On the way, they encountered 2 police cars with police in them, which they attacked, broke windows. There were riot police at the intersection of each street that went south from Queen Street into the financial district, but they didn't engage the protesters. They just watched them go by, smashing windows and spray painting. From there, they turned south on Bay Street and started into the financial district. There were 3 police cars abandoned in the intersection at King and Bay. The Black Bloc started smashing the police cars and set one of them on fire. After around 15 minutes, they walked north on Yonge Street, smashing windows along the way. There were no police to be seen anywhere. The streets were full of people going, just kind of doing normal things. At 4:20, they reached College, where they smashed more windows on their way back to Queen's Park. They also smashed some windows at a police station. When they arrived back at Queen's Park, they had all huddled in a circle to remove their black clothing. And then after that, I just lost track of them. They kind of just blended into the crowd or disappeared from that area altogether. There were lots of other peaceful protesters in that area, since it is the designated protesting area. I found it really strange that we'd followed these guys 24 blocks over the course of an hour and a half, and there was no police presence, no police interference. We were in the financial area, we were in a highly commercial area, and there was people just going about their daily lives. And after seeing so many police on the street over the last week, it just seemed very strange to me that there was absolutely nobody along kind of one of the main anticipated protests of the summit.
One of the things which I'm concerned about is that we don't at this point know how strong the police presence was inside the Black Bloc yesterday. We do know that they have regularly infiltrated those groups.
There was a whistleblower from the Toronto Police that went public. He went to the reporter Joe Warmington of the Toronto Sun, and basically he said that they were giving an order to stand down, to not arrest these violent criminals, which were these Black Bloc, I'd say 150 so criminals. But meanwhile, there's 16,000 police officers just standing back, getting an order from the highest ranks. So this is a criminal intent right here. We know that in the past, in Quebec and Montebello, they were caught as agent provocateurs infiltrating these groups. So let's talk about the facts here. Let's talk about they were told to stand down.
A room filled with police officers stare at pulsating screens. Feeds from 85 cameras cover most of Toronto's downtown core. This was the command center for the G20 Integrated Security Unit. There's another ISU command center in Barrie, Ontario, just a little north of Toronto. In charge was RCMP Chief Superintendent Alphonse McNeil. It may have been Toronto police on the streets, but the feds ran the show. At some point over the weekend, the operational commander watched the action unfold on the monitors in front of him and made 2 fateful decisions. The first was not to immediately move some of the thousands of available police officers into position to stop 100 or so people from breaking store windows. More importantly, not to quickly stop the trashing of several police cars. CSIS had decided there was no credible terrorism threat. The whole rationale for all the security was that a small segment of protesters, known for the day as the Black Bloc, would cause some property damage and might try to storm the security fence. Yet when the windows broke and the police cars burned for perhaps as long as an hour, there were no police in sight. Watch the CP24 coverage of police cars on fire Saturday night on Queen Street. The journalists ask over and over again, where are the police?
And Farah, tell me what police are doing right now.
I don't see any police here, Anne. That's the thing. I don't see any. I don't see even one unit around. This is just protesters and smoke coming out of this vehicle.
What happened to the 2 lines of several lines?
They dispersed down Peter Street. So again, there's no police officers here.
That's right, and that's curious. They were just there in 2 rows deep. Dave Woodford, OPP Sergeant, joining us on the phone. Dave, I don't know if you can see the pictures right now. Sergeant Woodford, another Toronto police car on fire. Police seem to be letting this happen. There were a lot of police in riot gear on Queen Street just a minute ago. Now they're gone. What is going on here?
Well, I don't know if it's protecting the vehicles or not. I think it's the security of the people and around the area. We have to make sure that when one of our vehicles, like we're seeing right now, are put up in flames, that we have to make sure that the security of the people around those vehicles, you know, we're not going to save the vehicle, it's already on fire, so we have to make sure of that security.
Dave, looks like step in and ask, why are police not there right now?
Each officer has been given a specific detail where they're to be, and you can't let your guard go down on another location where there could be protests because there's maybe a vehicle on fire. We have to keep our grounds and keep make sure that all locations are kept safe.
This is what they're riding around in. They're not riding around in cop cars. It's interesting because there's cop cars all on fire. These guys are just standing around while that car's burning. Here's where all the cops are. There's a car around the corner that's burning. And all the guys.
Everybody's okay with
They're
this.
just hanging out. And
Just chilling, drinking.
the people are standing around an exploding car.
You know what? They abandoned them. They abandoned them on purpose. The cops said
Superintendent McNeil told his hometown paper, the Cape Breton Post, quote, "We have the ability through our video feed to see everything that's going on. There are even helicopters and planes providing video feed. We can see them from the air. We can see them from the ground. If there's anyone trying to interfere, we would see that." Well, we know the police had infiltrated the Black Bloc. Now we know the cameras could see everywhere. So why couldn't the police defend their own vehicles? Was this part of a plan or a lack of available resources, as the police have said? Only a public inquiry can answer this question. Television images of police cars ablaze set the stage for mass arrests.